ObjectRocket solves multiple challenges when trying to run Redis in production. It's a HA environment. It's instantly spin up. You can just come click a button and it goes. We'll scale it for you. We have Redis experts standing by. We monitor, manage, maintain the whole thing for you. So I think those are the sort of core things that we do. We deal with those hard problems like performance, scalability, availability, and then expert resources.
NoSQL is hard. Databases in general are hard, and then when NoSQL came out, it got even harder. MongoDB is really hard to do sharding properly, and to have the expertise that we have on the ObjectRocket team to really help solve the common customer problems is invaluable. When it comes to Redis, people think Redis is such a simple technology, and it is. Outright, Redis is easy. But when you start running Redis at scale and you start thinking about the availability behind Redis and making sure that it's constantly up because it's becoming more and more integral to people's systems, ObjectRocket really offers that uptime guarantee and that exceptional support behind it, to where if something goes wrong, you got 24/7 engineers at your back like me to help you at 3 o'clock in the morning. We've all been there. So.
Directly what we're doing, the customer for my product is internal developers at Hulu. And what I'm providing is Redis as a service. So basically trying to address the challenges of scaling and providing Redis as a highly available service.
As a $26-something billion company, right, EMC's product set solves a huge number of things. You don't really want to hear me give you a sales pitch over all of them, but fundamentally what we do is we store information and we protect that data as much as possible in as many ways as our customers need it. I use Redis for pretty much everything that I can, unless it literally won't work. So there are things, like if I need to store, hundreds of gigabytes of data, I'm not going to use Redis. I'll use an object store or something more appropriate. But if I can get away with using Redis, I will. Right now, the most common use cases for me are as a backing for a job store, which was actually a really popular topic today. I happen to use a tool called Celery, but there's also RQ that I use a lot, which is a Python-only tool, as well as Rescue, which is a Ruby-only tool.
We actually use Redis for a ton of things. In fact, Salvatore was mentioning all the different things that people use it for. I was kind of counting them off on my hand that we use each of them. So we use Redis as a cache layer on top of MongoDB, which is the database we use. We also use Redis as an actual persistence layer for certain types of analytics. One of the things that Appboy provides for its customers is analytics from all the people using their mobile apps. And so for certain kinds of counters, Redis can be really quick at doing that. And so we use it for actual persistence in that way. And then the other thing, which is what my talk here today is actually focused on a lot, is using it as shared state for all of the components of our application that are running at once. So we'll use it both for locking protocols, for processes that are running at the same time on similar kinds of data, as well as for deduplication protocols to make sure that if we have, say, 2 worker jobs that are working on sending an email campaign to a bunch of users of an app, we use Redis in order to make sure that we don't send multiple emails to the same user while we're evaluating that target segment in parallel.
My idea of the software development world is to have a lot of diversity. So I hope there is a place for Redis, a place for another kind of database, a place for relational databases like PostgreSQL, Memcached, Redis, and every database should try to focus into solving a given problem for a given set of users.